Hello, everyone. I'm super thrilled today. I've got a very inspiring lady with me. In fact, she's shaped so many luxurious brands, and it's amazing to have her. She needs no introduction when it comes to PR. And she has basically done so much good work, with her company, what she's built. We have the one and only from Stanley Communications, the founder and director, Ms. Jessica Singh, with us today. So, welcome, Jessica, to this new episode. I'm truly thrilled to have you with me. It's always an honor to speak to entrepreneurs as yourself. So, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
taking
so
out the
much.
time.
Thank you. Thank you. That's quite an introduction. Feels very gratifying and sinking in sometimes as well. That after 8 years, when you hear so many things about yourself, like you just said, it's absolutely beautiful and all thanks to God. And thank you for the introduction. Very excited to be here and chat about everything that we have planned.
Right. So, to begin with, I want to get down to it. What made you get into the PR business? It's not an easy business. There's no day or night. You're working 24/7 round the clock. Meeting client demands, deadlines. It's not an easy task. So, what made you get into this trade? A little bit brief on that.
Of course, and you're absolutely right. And I think I spoke very recently as well. A lot of people in India don't know what PR is. And I said this statement that, most of my friends still think that getting ready and going to events is PR. And that is such a myth.
Right.
But coming back to how I got into PR, honestly, there was no plan. There was no book that I was following. I was a 21-year-old girl, really having an identity crisis at that time, right out of college, don't know what to do. And my father had a very clear goal in life. He said, you have to do something. I don't know what it is going to be, but you and anyone in my family needs to be financially independent and have something that they look forward to do in life.
Right.
And he said, okay, don't just go find internships. And it's really funny. There was a Facebook page called Career Cupid, which
Okay.
was very popular at that time. And Instagram wasn't having its peak moment. Facebook still existed. And I found this internship at a PR agency called, from Career Cupid, and I had studied communication, but honestly, still not knowing what PR really entailed, because what you learn in books and college versus what it is on ground, there's
Right.
a huge, vast difference.
Right.
And I landed up there as an intern, and very luckily and funnily, I would say, I was hired within 20 days, and I was the
Oh,
only
wow.
intern there hired within 20 days. And, it truly felt like a calling. It felt like someone had given me an identity. And I think that's when I fell in love with PR. This was much before I started Stanley. This was much before any of the entrepreneurship journey started. But I think before my entrepreneurship journey, it was a love for PR. And when you see ideas or strategies come alive,
Right.
that was my first love. And
Okay.
that's how my journey in PR started.
Okay. Tell me something. I want to ask you this question. If PR was a cocktail, what would actually be on your glass?
Okay, I won't say cocktail, but I'll choose what Stanley Communications is, or how we do PR. And I would
Right.
say red wine.
Right.
I drink red wine also, but for me, it is bold, it has depth, it has consistency.
Right.
It'll give you the right amount of high, but it's not overpowering as well.
Right.
So I think for me, it'll be red wine, and how my tactic or the way I like to take PR forward.
Okay. If Stanley Communications had a mood board, what would be pinned on it?
A global vision.
Okay.
And I think we are in works of that right now.
Right.
And I know clearly how I imagine my mood board. I visualize things. I visualize my entire life, and I feel very, very strongly about it. And I think just having our head offices all across the world, Paris, London, New York, we already have India and Dubai. And
Okay.
that's my mood board.
Okay. Always in PR, you're putting others in spotlight. When's the last time you put yourself on spotlight unapologetically?
Right now,
Okay.
I'm having a candid chat and putting myself out there, because and being very honest, I wasn't really comfortable doing that till about a year or so ago. I was like, oh, who has the time? Let me concentrate. And I can't lose sight. But then it's so important to really put your voice out there as well. Really,
Right.
really put forward what you believe, what your thoughts and thinking is, because your brand is at the end of the day you. For any entrepreneur, and I've said that very recently again, if you're selling a product, a service, or anything, it is your personal branding, and you need to align with what you're trying to sell.
Right.
So right now,
Okay. What's one of the most bizarre client requests that you've received, which you've said yes to?
Can I be honest? I think in the last 5 years, nothing really surprises me.
Okay.
And nothing seems bizarre anymore also, but I still remember back in the day, when I was in my first month of doing a job and learning into PR. It was fashion week time, and never had experienced fashion week in the brim and glory. And I was asked to find a 10 feet cactus,
Okay.
and that was like my first 15 days of joining this PR industry. And I was like, what is happening? Are these people crazy? What is this bizarre demand?
Right.
But in recent times, I think, you get equipped to so many things. Like,
Right.
you nothing just feels bizarre anymore. You're ready to handle a crisis. You're ready to jump in at like 4 o'clock at night. You're ready to just do anything.
Right. If PR were people, if brands were people, what would you swipe right on and who would you ghost?
I think, first of all, I would swipe right on people, clients, marketing heads who exactly know what they want to do.
Okay.
Because when brands come to us as well, and if they are lost on what they want to do, we will be equally lost somewhere in that journey. So I
Right.
think the number one swipe right would be people who know what their vision is. We can enhance that, we can work on that, but a clear vision is the first step. And I think being very honest again, people who are warm and people who are kind, it's not a very PR thing, but when you're working with people so in such close proximity, and your team is as well, and I'm very protective about my team, I
Okay.
think you really want to make sure the other side of people is warm and kind. There could be good days, there could be bad days, there could be days that we do really well, exceptionally well, and there are days where we fail to understand or deliver on a client's needs. But when that relationship is important to you, you figure it out.
Right. Okay. If you had to pitch planet Earth to the next generation, how would you do that?
Um, I would pitch life on planet Earth, right? We have planet Earth has too much going on. We
Yeah.
have our world crises happening, and we have water shortage, and we have pollution, and we have just so much going on. We have the entire plastic theory going on. So I think a lot of the younger generation, and I've heard this from people as well, is like, what is the point of bringing a new generation into this world, right? What kind of a life will we be giving them? But nevertheless, if I just talk about the life or what we experience on this planet Earth, is so much more like, uh, you know um it's a journey, it's a trajectory, it is growth as a human being that you experience on this planet Earth, that I don't think anyone should miss.
Right.
It's and I look back on myself, and I go back, and when I say, when I was 15 years old, or when I was 10 years old, or when I was 20 years old, and to today when I'm 31, the life path has been difficult, has been challenging, but so beautiful and so gratifying that I would want everyone to really experience life.
Right. Okay. If you start any business, it's not easy. There are a lot of obstacles, there are a lot of challenges. Me also being an entrepreneur, I know when I started my startups, it was not an easy journey. But coming back to you, when you started Stanley, what are the current challenges that time did you face and how did you overcome them?
I think the first and the largest was ageism. And I speak about this really, really openly. And it's not like it's completely vanished today as well. I was 23 when I started, and I was looked down from this eye of, she's a 23-year-old child.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
a young girl. What will she do? And again, in because we're talking very, very candidly here, I still remember this client very particularly telling me, oh, is your family not giving you enough money, that's why you're doing this?
Okay.
And that was such a shocking statement, is
Yeah.
because we should have a world where we promote people to thrive, right, not
Right.
put them down.
Yeah.
So ageism was a really big factor, because I was so young in a pool full of people who had 25 years of experience and 15 years of experience, and there I was a 23-year-old girl. But then I've realized that faith in God, hard work, and a clear vision can really overcome that. That was my first challenge, and I think number two was really figuring out how to set up a business.
Right.
I don't have an MBA, I've not studied business, and I don't know people, for people who have as well, does it become any easier? But I really feel like, in entrepreneurship, there's a challenge every single day. You're learning on on the job, you're really figuring out what works for you, because I feel there's no handbook for entrepreneurship. What might work for you might absolutely not work for me.
Right.
So I also figured out at a very early stage on my entrepreneurship that things are going to be challenging and there are going to be a lot of advice floating around you.
Right.
But is every advice for you? I don't think so. So
Okay.
filter that noise out, filter that advice out. You will make your mistakes and don't be scared.
Right.
You'll figure it out eventually.
Right. What is that one memorable client experience which you'd like to share, which gives you, those goosebumps, when you think of it, and, it gives you a nice smile when you go back in time. Would you like to share something on that?
Of course, I think for me that would be Reliance Brands.
Okay.
It's really funny, and someone reminded me very recently as well that when I started out, I used to just say I want to work with Reliance.
Right.
Find me a way, find me a contact, find me just some way. And it's really funny, Siddharth. It took me 2.5 years to pitch to them.
Okay.
It was 2.5 years
Wow.
of pure consistency and relentlessness. And I said, I will not back down. I will make this happen. And 2.5 years of literally finding new POCs and new people every day. And today, God is so kind. We've been working with them for 5 years.
Right.
And we are their official agency for their entire women's wear and menswear cohort.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
As I
So
also keep telling people, as you rightly said, consistency is the key. Whatever you do in life, I think you need to be consistent, never give up attitude. That's what goes a long way. I couldn't agree more with
totally.
you.
Totally. And when people say, oh, there comes a time that hard work gets replaced by smart work. I
Yeah,
am sorry, I don't agree. Yes, you get smarter at your work because you have a whole lot of experience to teach you what works and what doesn't work. But
right.
is there any replacement for hard work? Not in my book.
No, no, I don't think
I
there's.
still work as hard as I did on day one. Maybe I think 100 times more.
Right. I would like you also to know, like a lot of people, especially the youngsters of today, the Gen Zs, and they want to get into this kind of a career. They see everything from the outside is so glamorous and luxurious, but they don't know the hustle behind. So I would like you to give a message, to the youth who's watching or who would like to pursue this kind of a trade. What is the direct message? You've been so successful, you've got so much experience in your field. What is that one message which you'd like to tell them?
No, absolutely. I think what you said is very on point. A lot of the Gen Z, a lot of the young people want to enter this field, and why not?
Yeah,
I think just the world of PR and marketing is also so diverse. You have different techniques working in today. There's also influencer marketing. There's content creation. There's so much. But for anyone who thinks this is easy,
right.
I assure you it's not. I don't speak just on my behalf, but I
Mm.
speak on every social media agency, every performance marketing agency, every PR agency in the country. Again, people think what we post on Instagram, and that's the point of Instagram, right? While it teaches you so much, it's a platform of information and learning. It also puts forward the wrong message. You
Yeah,
see pictures of people dressed up and meeting, interacting at events and having a glass of champagne in their hand. Well, let me tell you, that's not even 1% of what we do on a daily basis. That
okay.
is just the cherry on the cake when
Right.
we see things come alive.
Yeah,
Any event that you are trying to pull off or any campaign takes months of hard work, calls that you can never imagine, meetings, pitches. So enter this industry because India is having its moment. For the next 10 years, we are the largest conversation when it comes to fashion and to luxury and to everything growth, because we are the largest conversation. So if anyone wants to grow, you're going to enter the right industry. But please don't come with false expectations that you're going to be getting something on a platter and
right,
life is going to be all about just going up to events. And I've had people who've entered Stanley and said, oh, हमें तो लगा था ये बहुत easy होगा.
right.
So please be prepared, but also influence the marketing and content creation. Trust me, Siddharth, and I'm sure you would know this as well. It's not an easy job. And I say
Yeah,
this to all of my influencer friends. I said, when you have a bad day or a low day, for me, at least I'm behind the laptop, right?
right.
I can I don't have to show my face. So I don't have to put on a face with a smile to the world. But a
Mm.
lot of the influencers have to do this day on and day every
Yeah,
single day, no matter
yeah,
what's going on in their personal life.
right.
Right? I personally can't think there's anything harder than that.
Yeah, true.
So while everything looks extremely glamorous, and it has its perks, I won't deny it, is also a lot of hustle, a lot of hard work. So if you're prepared to put in that hard work, but also get the perks of it, this is the industry for you.
Yeah, I couldn't be agree more with you because me being also being a lifestyle influencer, I have the kind of demands which I also keep getting from brands. It's not easy, to meet the right kind of
I'm sure.
demands, right kind of targets, you're always at the back end, so it is not easy. So what you rightly said, and especially coming from you saying this, I'm sure all the viewers watching us today will also get inspired that, nothing comes easy, nothing is easy in life.
Yes.
So you need to really hustle. So,
It's gratifying in how. So if you can make yourself and push yourself, any field that is,
yeah,
marketing, content creation, entrepreneurship, working at a corporate, no matter what, everything has its perks, but nothing comes free or easy in life.
right. Okay. Also, I believe a lot in women empowerment, So, a lot of women in today's time, who are, housewives, who are, even not have work experience, they're looking for jobs, especially for them also, there are a lot of women till today also who do not have that facility, or even a laptop, to come and, express their views or on social media and things like that. So, what would you say to them, if they would like to rise?
Please give yourself a chance. It could be anything. And we're so lucky today in this world that we have platforms, digital platforms that give us access to anything. You open Instagram, there'll be someone selling cakes from their house, someone
Right,
selling salads from their house.
right,
Leave Instagram as well. When I look at my colony groups, I speak to my mom. Whenever I speak to my mom, I live in this area called Scenic Farms,
right,
and there are 1,000 women on this group. And Siddharth, trust me, they are selling anything and everything, and they're all thriving. One is selling suits, one is selling cakes, one is selling dips, one is selling a cheese platter, one is running a marriage bureau, one is running a house help group bureau. And
right,
look at them, they're all in their 40s, they're all in their 50s. Yes, maybe they're not pushing themselves out of their comfort zone to a level that we can, of course,
right.
because
Yeah,
your body, your mind doesn't allow it. But just, I think, being busy and putting your energy into something that gives you some sort of happiness when you go to bed at night, it's for everyone. So anyone watching this, no matter what age you are, please give yourself a chance and trust yourself.
right.
I read this somewhere. To do anything in life, you have to have a lot of courage and a little bit of delusion. So have the delusion that you can do it and trust God, and life will surprise you.
Lovely, lovely message. Now it comes to a fun segment. This is the fun rapid fire round. I'm going to ask you like these quick questions just to know you more personally. So, to begin with, my first would be your three-word PR philosophy.
Consistency, curation, and being on top of all trends.
Best revenge on a crisis.
It's revenge in a crisis. Oh no, no. Crisis moments are not for revenge. They're for being very calm and composed and not giving reactions.
Biggest myth that clients believe.
That our employees don't take salaries from us. When they negotiate with us, they forget that we also have people to pay.
Okay. Dream brand that you've refused to work with.
Oh no, I would never let any dream brand walk away.
A
I would rather
campaign,
find them from wherever they're sleeping, wake them up and say, You have to work with me.
a campaign you wish you'd done.
um, I'm quite obsessed with road
Okay.
and everything that they're doing and indie wild in India. So I think working with them is on the cards now. I really, really wish to work with them and execute.
One of your current favorite reads.
Honestly, I'm not too much into reading, being very,
Okay.
very honest, but I'm a lot into documentaries.
Okay.
I consume a lot of my information through visual stimulation, and I really enjoy that.
If you were given one superpower for a day, how would you use it?
I already have my superpower, which
Okay.
is I think which is being focused, and I really believe being connected to God is my superpower. So I'm good there.
Okay. What is that one difference according to you between the Gen Zs and the millennials?
Oh, there's a huge difference. Gen Zs do not understand hard work. They really want everything easy on the plate
Right.
versus millennials still, because I think, our parents' generation was really
Yeah.
of the opinion ki mehnat karni padti hai, So it's instilled in us to some sort of extent. Gen Z's, oh my God, they're very hard to deal with. Any client I talk to, they're just like, we can't deal with them. And same at Stanley also we face this problem. This generation is for instant gratification.
Right. What is your favorite cuisine and what dish do you think you cook really well?
Oh, I'm an Asian girl out and out.
Okay.
But I cook well. I'm quite a good cook.
Okay.
So when I ever get time, it's very therapeutic. Um, I made spaghetti very recently for my husband and actually dum biryani, the proper dum biryani.
Okay. Nice. What's that one motto that you stand by?
You can never grow alone. You have to make sure the people that around you are also motivated, not just financially, but emotionally, if you want to build an environment that grows.
Okay. Is there a Bollywood or a Hollywood superstar, your dream to work with them as a PR company?
Oh, Shah Rukh Khan, of course. Oh, no, actually, Karan Johar, I would say. Karan Johar.
Okay.
I'm a
And
huge fan.
and if you have to define in one line what Stanley Communications is, what would you say?
It is a powerhouse for brands across the globe and taking them to the next level.
Okay. So, thank you so much, Jessica. That comes to the end of the episode. It was
Thank
such a
you.
lovely time chatting with you, knowing your vision, and wishing Stanley Communications all the very best. You all are, anyways, doing a fab job. I
Thank you
keep
so
seeing
much.
the
Thank you.
different and super events that you keep doing, and then your entire team. In fact, it's always a team effort. So I would say that,
It always is,
yeah.
yes.
So, the entire team. Kudos to the entire team, and hope you all keep shining. And look forward to seeing you on the other side really
Thank you
soon.
so much. I really had a fun chat and look forward to seeing you very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.